Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Marilyn Shannon. This is the Breaking Free Show, and it is August 5th, and I am so happy to have you all with us today. The last time we had our guest on, Amnon turned around and he said, wow, that was riveting. And it was. Even I was at the edge of my seat. And so today we're so happy to have Rachel Oz on back with us today. She's fantastic. And the subject that we're going to be talking about is one that I love, just love the concept of living in our color, living out with our color, living in full color, living life to the fullest. And that's with everything that you do. So, of course, as you can tell, I've dressed up for the occasion. I've worn my very, very special hat today because, for me, this is living in my color. This is living my life to the fullest. And, you know, it's interesting because a couple of weeks ago, coming to the show one day, I was going to wear my hat. And I thought, wear a hat like that on the air, have people look at it, and then this, and then that. And then I thought, no, I'm going to wear it. And I'm so happy I did, because when Rachel and I were talking earlier, she loved my hat. And I think that's a compliment. So without any more commentary from me, because I just want to get right into it, I'm going to welcome Rachel Oz, our favorite psychologist, therapist, to our show today. Rachel, good afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon, Marilyn, and good afternoon, everyone tuning in. So happy to be here.
It's really, really good to have you here. And I just want to remind everyone, when you're listening, if you'd like to join our chat, because it's already lots of things going on, please put your name on that blank little space and then hit send, and you'll be part of our chat if you want to be. And then you could add little comments, you can ask questions, whatever you like. And if you want to call in and share anything about living in your color, or something today moves you and you want to comment about it, you're welcome to call in at 919-518-9773. So, Rachel.
Yes.
What are we talking about?
Well, the first thing I just want to say to you, Marilyn, given it's the second time I'm here on this show, is that my heart just burst, because I, just after one show of doing this together, I already feel this incredible connection with you. I just look at you and I just feel like I love you, and I'm so grateful for this relationship and to share that with others and invite others into it.
Thank you. You know, it's so interesting because, Rachel and I have never really met. And I found Rachel's book. All I did was listen on a site. I happened to be on a public relations promotional website site, and I found her book, and it just drew me to her, and we chatted on the phone. But it's so interesting because I didn't really know Rachel. And, giving yourself an opportunity to connect with someone, people always ask me, well, how do you do this when you never meet anybody? How do you do it online? How do you show who you are? How do you express who you are online, on Facebook? You do it the same way you do it if you're face-to-face. It's no different. You may not have the face-to-face. Maybe it's just, your keypad. But you express who you are, and Rachel has always done that. And I have always done that. And therefore, we can legitimately, authentically have this connection, because we are who we are regardless of where we are. So thank you. I feel the same way about you. You're an absolute doll, and I love you. I'm so excited, to be talking about this. So we're talking about living in your color, living outside. So what do you mean by that? Because you came up with this concept for today. So tell me what you mean by that.
Right. I think that it's both literal and figurative. Living in your full color could mean literally what you adorn yourself with, more literally. So me putting on my necklace of my colored pencils and so on would be an example of quite literally living in full color. But also figuratively, meaning do I feel free to move and be and live in full color, to go ahead and honor how I feel moved to be. So just a quick example of that, maybe just a couple days ago. This may be a kind of an odd example. Someone in our neighborhood had died, and on Saturday there was a celebration for him in our neighborhood park. And it was pretty packed around the speakers. People were sharing memories. And I felt drawn to sit nearby on a swing and listen. And I thought, well, that could look kind of funny to people. No one's over there, and I'm an adult. But it didn't matter. My heart felt really moved to that's where I would be, to really hear what was going on, honor this person's life. And that's where I went. And that to me also feels like living in full color.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So that's just an overall.
Right.
But the other thing is I would love to read a little passage from my book that you referenced, All I Did Was Listen, about this living in full color business. Would this be an okay time to do so, Marilyn?
Yeah, go right ahead.
All right. Well, here's the book. And it's in the chapter, in case someone has it or will have it, called Room for Flowers, Chapter 4. And this book is this whole inspiration in response to my psychology practice and beautiful things I hear my clients say. And in response to one of my clients saying this, I find that I am choosing clothing I like for me more consciously as I begin to listen to my feelings more closely. And then I wrote this little reflection inspired by that. Much gets set in motion when I really hear myself, including an evolution of my closet, or maybe it's a revolution, an unrest for all that doesn't fit, for the comfortable, for the fashion of someone else. There comes this time when I want my clothes to match me. I want leggings like little girls have, with stripes and flowers, because I adore such freedom of being. I want to draw faces and simple houses with fabric markers on skirts, because I love to draw. In winter, I want to put on warm layers and relate to each one. Say good morning to the purple. I love you to the orange, because I don't want to be removed from any of it, from any of me. I don't want to miss this chance to really dress up.
That's perfect. So this concept of living in our color, living our color, that is everywhere. That is in our bedroom. That is how we dress. That is how we walk. It is how we talk. Maybe it's in how we eat. It's in everything we do. It's in our work. And I said on one of my tweets or one of my Facebook posts about today, is it's in your logo if you're working. You know, it's in everything that expresses who you are. It's in your headshot. You know, a lot of business people so often have a headshot that isn't them. And I don't think that's right. I think your headshot can be a professional shot even if it's outside, or if you're wearing a necklace that represents who you are. It's got to be, your headshot has to speak. My headshot has to speak Marilyn. And if you saw my headshot, you know it's not a headshot, it's a head body. Because I like how it looks. I'm not interested in just showing my head. I want to show my whole body. But that's up to me. I get to choose, right?
Yes, exactly. You want your headshot to you want your full body to be you, and of course this just goes into, it's a sampler of ideally our whole life being us, right?
Right.
How do we breathe life into all our realms and gift the world really with that?
Right. So how do people do it, Rachel?
Yeah. You know, I was just this morning, I heard on the radio a song that many people know, Blackbird. Blackbird singing in the dead of night, take these broken wings and learn to fly. You know, that we live in full color with our broken wings. You know, another thing that some people may have heard, I heard of this violinist a few years ago who had a broken string, and she was in concert. She just played her heart out with that violin with one broken string. And so I think that's the invitation, to take our imperfect selves and play play our heart outs with the music of our being, you know. Now how we do that, one little story comes to mind just as a beginning contemplation of this. And maybe after I tell this story, boy, if anyone wants to call in, if you have any stories of your own, it would be so great to share. But last week, I went to one of my favorite art stores here. I'm in St. Paul, Minnesota, called Wet Paint. And I went in there with a girlfriend of mine. And she and I just went in to share with each other things we like. And they're funny as we're walking by. And we came across the counter of markers.
Oh.
And here's the markers I use. And they're these Copic markers. And I mean, really, like, I love them.
Rachel, hold on a second.
Said,
Rachel, hold on a second because you're breaking up.
All right.
Is anybody else in your office using the internet?
I don't know.
Are you
they'd be on different floors or...
Okay. What do you... Okay. All right, start. So you went into the store because it broke up and I don't want to miss anything. So start with that.
Okay. So I went into this art store this past week with my friend Steph, and we were walking past the counter with all these different markers. And I said about the Copic markers, I said, I love these markers so much, Steph. And she just embraced that in me. She pulled out this orange and green color and said, I know these are your colors. And I said, yes. I felt so loved by her that she knew that. But anyway, and then she said, I feel like, about herself, I feel like I should like those, that those are the ones I should be drawn to. And then she pulled out a Sharpie marker and said, but these are the ones that make my heart race. And so I said to her, well, Steph, of course, those are the ones you ought to be using and having, you know, because, so I think I love that example because if we can let go of the shoulds, like I should like those other kind of markers, the more expensive or the more whatever, I don't know, and just be free to Mary Oliver Poet, she says, out of the poem Wild Geese, just let the soft skin of your body love what it loves. And so if we can follow that, you know, then I think that's an amazing beginning.
And so, and being, I think, well, the listening part is key here again, because in listening, you can listen to spontaneity. You listen beyond the norm of what the norm is for yourself. You can listen to the second of an inspirational moment. I mean, that's what it takes because, you know, maybe in the past, I mean, I love certain colors, but maybe today, living who I am in this moment might mean something else. Maybe I want to eat something I haven't eaten before, or so I want to taste those things. I want the opportunity to listen past my boundaries, my wall, my whatevers, to be able to go into something else, to be expansive, I guess is what I want to say. And then the other thing is what you said about fly, you know, Blackbird, the song. Well, I love that song. And being able to fly with a wing that may not be 100% perfect is perfect. It's like, it's perfect.
Yes.
You know, maybe today one wing is stronger than another, and then the other wing is going to just, you know, help to compensate. But we all have something, wing that might be a little out of whack today. And that doesn't stop us from flying, however.
Right.
Right?
Right. Absolutely. Don't you think that's key? I have something out of whack every day.
Yeah, I mean, I am living with my right arm out of whack for like 6 weeks already. My right arm, and I'm a righty, and my right arm is out of whack. And today, when I went into the pool, because I'm trying to get back into exercising in the pool, without even knowing I was doing this, but I heard myself do this. I started like thanking my left arm and laughing because it was like a person. It was like taking over for my right arm, and I was like, oh, Thank you, left arm. You're doing so good. And I'm starting to have a conversation. I'm lucky it's 6 o'clock in the morning. Nobody else was in the pool but me because here I am. I'm talking to my left arm.
Right
However,
on.
it's gone a personality. And I have fun with it. And I'm the only one there, me and the geese.
Marilyn, that is some full color living. And okay, so two things. One is I was in the pool early morning too. So I know. So like my left arm is now saying hi to your left arm. And the other thing is, I think it was just a week ago, maybe 2 weeks, I was in the pool and there was a young woman, she was probably in her early 20s, swimming in the pool with one leg. With one leg.
Well, last week we had on a phenomenal woman to our show, Karen Gaffney, and for those of you that are listening, do you know her?
I saw that you had something posted on Facebook about the show.
If you have not had an opportunity to see our show last week, you can certainly see the archives and go, do some Google searching on Karen. She has Down syndrome. She's magnificent. She has her honorary doctorate. She has taken the dis out of disability. She has swam the English Channel, Tahoe, all these different lakes. She swims with 2 arms and 1 leg because she has a bad hip. Now, this woman is, if she's not flying, I tried to get her to say something negative. I really did my best to get her to say something deep down that was like, yes, it was painful, but I couldn't get her to say it. It's just not in her. It's not in her DNA.
Yes. Oh my! How inspiring is that?
Yeah.
Because I would encourage myself as well as anyone listening in to take a moment to pause and think about where are the places in you right now where you don't feel like you're at full capacity, whether it be a grief, whether it be a physical something that's hurting you in your physical being, some confidence issue, etc. And to just hear these examples of violin player, these swimmers, and so on, of Marilyn, and imagine that more might be possible to breathe into all those spaces within you, that those can come along with the parts of you that are capable and maybe make whatever it is you pursue all that much greater.
Where do you find people when they're starting out? Let's say, let's just talk to the people who may be starting out to fly. What do you see? So where do they begin? Yes, they have maybe a broken wing. Maybe we all do. Maybe I've mended mine some, or my left hand is loving my right hand. But where do people actually, in what capacity do they start? Do they start with their dress? Do they start with their home? Where do they start?
Yeah. Here's what comes to me initially, and if anyone, including you, Marilyn, has any other input, I'd love it. But my first thought went right into the ordinary. And it's beginning maybe with the thing you had referenced, Marilyn, which is even just in choosing what we eat, beginning to recall again what are the particular food selections that I make that I like, that please me, that add some kind of balance to my diet, even if that includes dessert, the balance thing, but just whatever it is. Oh gosh, I haven't asked myself this question in a while. What occurs to me personally right away when I ask myself this question, the first thought is banana bread. But there's, so just even recalling those kind of ordinary things. Right. And continuing, as I said, like Mary Oliver says, let the skin of your body love what it loves. So maybe even a prompt, just ask yourself to notice throughout your day, what do I love as the day goes on? And just be an observer. And from there, maybe begin to actually make choices that are aligned with that increasingly. And I think that once you begin with food and just everyday bits of things, can't help but spill over into other things.
And I would also suggest, that you have, doesn't take much to buy a pretty little bowl at TJ Maxx or Target.
Yes.
I would go there and pick up little things to decorate your table so that because everything gives off the energy, everything. Whether you light a candle, I just went and you can buy all these like cute little things to put your vegetables in for like $3, $4. It doesn't take much to make a table that's inviting. Cool placemats, and those kinds of things is what frees us up.
Yes,
it's chipping away at that wall or those I can'ts or maybe I shouldn't or whatever, but it just starts to mush it away. Right, Rachel?
Right. Oh, I love that. One of the things, Marilyn, I love so much about you is when I hear you speak, I feel relief and grounded, like you make things solid. I feel like sometimes I'm up in the air with thoughts, and when you start speaking, it's like right down to the table, here's the bowl. And I just thank you that you bring that to the world. Safe. You're so just safe, and it also feels possible when you speak.
Thank you. I feel like I have an obligation. If I'm going to take or ask for this time to be with whoever is out there listening and whoever shares this, if I'm going to ask for your time, I want to be my most colorful, authentic, real self.
Yes.
And I think we owe that to each other, whether we're writing on the chat or doing whatever we're doing. We owe it to each other because we are a community. That was one of my next questions. What's possible when we are all here sharing? I know on the chat people sharing what color their bedrooms are. And I think it's just phenomenal that people are doing this because I can't read everything that's on the chat. It's going by so fast. But I'm trusting you all out there that whatever you're putting on this chat, you're sharing with each other all your color. And that's the best I could. And so if you're sharing and you're not listening to us right now, that's fine because it's okay. Right. But if you have something to share and you want everybody to hear it, call in 919-518-9773 and share, what you do to express your color, because this way of sharing, this way of living our color is going to make a difference in the vibration of the planet. And that's where I want to go. I want to ask you, Rachel.
Yes.
By us all doing this and by living this color and all of this, what can we hope for? What can we see in the planet?
Oh. What can we see in the planet? I just, Well, I feel like if everyone honored their full color, their full selves, a dream for their life, I think so much healing could happen on this planet. Relationally, individually, I think there'd be less disease. I think there'd be more kindness and generosity because we give out out of our own reservoir inside, right? And so if we each are filled up and fulfilled, then we have more to offer. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just thinking that I wanted just to share a little whimsically that in my own life, that as I began increasingly being free to choose to wear what I feel like wearing or buy that bowl that struck my fancy, whatever, that I began more actually writing and painting on my walls in my house. And so, in my living room wall, I just felt so moved to just draw a big painting of a girl with this huge splash of blue. And my family just sat back and okay, I guess this is going to be in our living room. And I've written big things in my bedroom at home. So there's just on the wall. I just think there's a joy to that and a freedom, because when I get real quiet and think about what it feels like internally to do that, I am so full of joy. I feel like the little girl playing who doesn't censor or, dull sort of guess, wait, what am I doing, or how will this be presented? What will people think? I'm just free to just love and send out color.
Yeah, I think I want to say that it is okay to say, look at me. It is,
Yes.
right? It's okay. Look at us. It's
Right?
okay.
Marilyn, this is the perfect cue. I'm going to show something here.
Go ahead.
A friend of mine from Jersey, her name is Amy Dulwich, and she has a website called Artsyville. And you probably won't be able to see this super well, but she did this beautiful art piece, and it says, put your color on and hit the road and tell the world who you are. Put your color on, hit the road, and tell the world who you are. And bless her heart, she said something about, she thought of me in the making. But I think there is something about being seen, that when we put our color on, there is something about telling the world who we are. But I also think the world is thirsty to know who people are.
So people are thirsty to know who people are, and people are thirsty to get a smile on. If I see Rachel, and like I see Rachel, if I saw here, I look at Rachel and I go, wow, this is a beautiful spirit. If I see Rachel with color in her hair, with a funky necklace, walking down the street, I'm going to feel something. I'm going to feel a joy. It's going to catch my attention for a split second or for a split moment. Maybe I'll stop thinking about something else. Maybe I'll feel like, wow, that's a great combination of color. I've not thought of that before. Something. What do we think about when we see each other? What do we think? What do we think, Rachel? What do you think we see somebody with color?
Yes, I mean, when I first saw you, for example, because Marilyn and I spoke for a few minutes before we went live, I just couldn't stop talking about how adorable she looked with her hat. And it brought me joy. It made me really, really happy. It's such a little thing. So I think that we help turn the lights on for each other when we do these things. I have also this bicycle, and I've named it May, M-A-Y. It's green with a basket, and the handlebars are up here, but I love it. And I just love to post around in it sometimes outside. And what I've found is that when I'm out and with my flowery shoes and whatever, is that people notice me and smile at me a lot. I don't know exactly, of course, what they're thinking. And children sometimes point at me, or like in church, start playing with my hair, just come up to me and start twiddling with my necklace or hair or whatever. So I think that it's an invitation to connect and relate. So I think there actually is a relational piece to it. And then secondly, I think potentially it's a joy spreader.
So it's a relationship. It's a way for people to connect, even if I see you walking down the street, and I don't know you, but I connect with you in that place, then even if we haven't spoken, we have exchanged a connection.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely. I think of you at the beginning of our show today, and you said about you and I.
Yes.
Okay, Rachel and I have not met.
Or met.
But yes, there is a meeting that's deep, and that happens in so many ways with people. So, and I think color can be one of those bridges, and color, again, literally and figuratively.
Right. Well, Kim on our chat said she agreed with the world being thirsty to know who we are, and she says those feelings and joy can change the world, and they can. And the world, is a small place. It's a small place, and and the closer we get, the smaller it gets. And we draw each other in to our energy field, to our emotional field, to our family. We draw them
Yes.
in. I mean, I
Me
know,
too.
right? There are people on our chat that I have never also met, but that I love dearly. Suziani, who's been here many, many times and is just such a supporter of everyone. Met Rachel, our show last time, and now how big is the circle? We can. The things I don't even know how to put this into words. How do you put this into words? I don't know. Maybe that's right.
Right. Well, and an example of this too is that all I can think is the only way I put it into words is story, is through story. And so when I started making art just a few years ago, I was encouraged to start a blog and to share it, and also knowing that eventually I'd want to put a book out, so it just made sense to create some kind of online presence. But what I didn't know would happen is that when I started putting out authentic words and art, and really my heart, putting it out there, that over time I have made some of the best friends of my life because of that. And I had no idea that would happen. And I didn't begin doing that thinking, I need some more friends or blah, blah, like that. But by just being myself and putting myself out there more and more, doing what I do, relationship came. And like you said, energetically, or I can't remember how you said it, it was lovely, Marilyn. Just the domino effect of what happens when we live in full color or we live fully.
I know that it's nice to know that there are people out there, that it's nice that Rachel's out there. It's nice to know that Suziani is out there. It's nice to know that there are people that are out there. Kim is on our chat now. She's been on our show before. I had not met Kim also until years ago, and then she was on our show. It's nice to know that we have these, I don't know what you call them, sticks in the ground. There are people out there like sticks in the ground that are supporting our world, supporting each other, and they're out there. And it's just nice to know that you're out there. And who's ever listening, if you know me and you haven't called in before and you're just listening, family, your friend, your acquaintance of somebody, you're a friend of Rachel's, it's nice to know you're out there. You know me now. You know Rachel now. It's not. I feel like, when people were RSVPing to today, and they might have been a friend of Rachel's, maybe Carrie. I know Carrie's on the chat now. Carrie, who does the psychic show on Sunday night. I love Carrie to pieces, and I love connecting with Carrie's friends because it's these constant connections that we make when we are of like minds and we are of like the sameness, even though your color might be green, my color might be red, it doesn't matter. Yeah. It's nice to know we have these connections out there that we can keep building upon, and the sticks in the ground, they're just out there.
Yes, I love that. Sticks in the ground. I love that. So, if they're tuned in, Lori Portka, Carissa Page, Lisa Erickson, so many names. Your sticks in the ground. Sticks in the ground. And I just wonder, Marilyn, you have some thoughts on this, but I think there is something too that we also help each other to live in full color. I know that I've done a couple art retreats with some other artist friends, and after we were together for some time, we all felt energetically like we all helped each other to live more into fullness, that sort of bigger things were happening after we were all together, like just being around each other for a chunk of time, that something powerful was unleashed in each of our individual lives following that.
Right.
So I think there is something to having life-giving connections with people that only increase our full color going forward, our living fully.
So Rachel, I know you had an online store. I mean, so Rachel is, I mean, putting herself out there and pushing, I mean, she is a therapist living in
Right.
color. So that tells you something. I mean, how many of you out there would, or, I mean, love the idea of a therapist who is living in color? I mean, I think it's fabulous. I think it's a whole different slant than what we normally might hear about. So Rachel has an online store. She has a blog. Talk about that a little bit, because that's, you know, really important for where we are and how we each express ourselves. Because I know there are people on the chat and listening that are holding on to their expression. I don't want to do that. So what do you do?
Okay. So, yes, so I have, I don't know if I should say them now or if you'll just show.
No, say whatever you want. Who cares? Say whatever you want.
Whatever order. Oh, move freely. Okay, so just to say it quickly, because I know some people can't stay the whole time too, is that my online art store is one word, rachelaws.com, RACHELAWES.com, and my blog name is alliditlisten.com. So just to share that. So what was going on in my heart just now is that when you point out that I'm a therapist, is that my work as a therapist is so private and quiet and introverted, really. You know, since I was a little kid, my favorite interactions were one-on-one, and I think ultimately they still are. You know, I'd have a birthday party and pull one friend aside a little bit, you know, it just was my comfort level. But I think there's an intimacy about that I love too. And so then I felt this movement in my heart to create art and become a little more public in my 40s. And believe me, it was uncomfortable. But nonetheless, there was that tug in my heart. So I kind of feel like with my personality and with my profession, if I can live in full color and break out of this egg into the second half of life and increasingly an ever new life. I just saw lilac bush, which in Minnesota blooms in May, and now we're in August. And even the lilac knows she can have a new life and rebirth, even when it seems like it may not be time, but it is. And the other thing that I want to say is that, you know, for people who are listening in, is that when I grew up kind of in the hood, right? So I had to kind of figure out how to make it. If I wanted to live more fully, I had to really work hard at it, and had some pain when I was little. So this is for everybody, you know? This living fully and really breathing into who you are doesn't just come from privileged living. It can come out of the ashes. So again, in that sort of whole thing, you can swim with the limbs you got, play the violin with the strings you got.
Wow. You know, I just had a vision of, you know, of somebody who might be on the sofa, you know, today in the afternoon listening to our show, who, you know, might have a hard time getting up. Now, of course, many of us know what it's like to be on the sofa with a hard time getting up, because I can remember when I was going through my divorce, I had a hard time walking across the shopping center. I remember trying to go buy my daughter's shoes, and going from my car to the store door would have been like walking miles and miles and miles, because I had no energy. Or getting into my apartment, which had, you know, was a townhouse, trying to get up the stairs. I can remember going left to right, trying to get myself up the stairs, because I was so sad and my energy was so bad. But little by little, I went up those stairs. Little by little, I got out of the car when I didn't want to, and, you know, went across the street. So if you are listening to the show and you are having a hard time getting off the sofa, do me a favor, light a candle this moment, or open up your blinds, or do a little something that just brings in the light. Just a little something. Just a little something, right?
Yes, put your hand over your heart and feel it beat if you haven't done that for a while. And even if you're just laying on that sofa, you're alive. And it's rather miraculous that we have a heart in our chest, is it not?
Yeah, it is. And the other thing I'm sure of, that whether
Yes.
you're a man or a woman, this conversation is universal. It's genderless. It has no idea. Your heart has no idea that you have what you have and I have what I have. The heart has no idea. You are a human being, and that's it. And everybody gets to express themselves in whatever color, shape, style, resource, music you can express yourself in. So it doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman on that sofa, or you are sitting on your deck listening to this, enjoying the sunshine. It doesn't matter. Live the color. Live the color. Right, Rachel?
Right, absolutely. Oh, when you're just saying that, I'm just seeing floods of faces visually through my own memory of all the people I've seen come through my office, which is actually where I am right now in my psychology office, the little bit of background you can see. But I'm just seeing so many of the clients who I've loved so, so dearly come through, and how every single one has an amazing presence that I just honestly feel in awe about. And everybody has a fullness to come forward with. So, I've just heard enough people dismiss that. I don't have much to offer, or I'm not this, or I'm not that. But in actuality, you are all that. Everybody.
Yes, I think everybody, when you say that, I had a visual of a puzzle piece. Because each and every one of us is a piece to the puzzle. And when you hold out your piece, the puzzle is not complete. You must experience the piece of the puzzle that you are, so that this picture can get complete, can look complete. And we have to find, and this is what's so interesting about this, I mean, I'm having like a moment, so bear with me here, everybody. That's what we're here for. We're all developing our pieces. And what I think is so extraordinary about these communities that we get to create and be a part of is that we are finding we're finding our puzzle piece within ourselves.
Yes.
And this community lets us express that.
Right.
What are you thinking, Rachel?
Well, I'm seeing if I can pull this little ornament there I got down from my lamp. As you were saying that, I was also thinking a picture. And when you talked about puzzle piece, everyone's puzzle piece, and then I was also thinking of an earlier question you had about what would happen to our world if we all lived a little more fully. And when you said puzzle piece, I actually didn't see it as a flat puzzle, which is how I usually see it. I thought of an ornament, which I don't have right here, but similar, that has literal puzzle pieces around the whole circle, and it's a really colorful one. So I saw it that way, and then I realized it was like the world and the question you asked me. And so I was just thinking, if we all, had our light shine out a little bit more, what would happen to the world? And all those puzzle pieces, we need all of them.
We need all of them. Yes.
Mm-hmm. So if someone lived on Mars or something, they'd say, wow, what is that place?
Yeah, I want to go down to Earth.
Yeah, I want to live there.
Absolutely, I want to go down to Earth. So I know that you and Chris is, Chris, I don't know how to describe her. Chris, I know, there's no words to describe my, but anyway, Chris and she's co-producer. She reminds me of things. You and Chris had a conversation about one of your photographs, or one of your drawings, and how it meant so much to Chris and her family. Could you talk about that some?
Sure. A friend of mine, I believe is listening in, her name is Carissa Page, who I just love. She lives in Florida. She's an artist and a writer. And Carissa was one of the people who spent some time with me on one of the art retreats, actually at a cabin here in Minnesota with a few other artists. And one of the things that Carissa and I do together quite a bit when we're together is we're very playful together. And we just spontaneously, for a little while, when we were up at this cabin, took out some paper and markers, and we played this game, which maybe some people have done this in their homes with their families, but where we each on this piece of paper would take turns creating this piece. And so one of us would just draw a very little bit, and then it was the other person's turn who would contribute just a little bit. Sometimes you couldn't even tell, well, what do I do with that one line or something? And eventually together we created this art print called Space. You don't happen to have it, do you, Marilyn, to flash it on here?
No,
That's
I
okay.
don't.
But it's on my, Etsy site, again, racheloz.com. But a collaborative piece. And it was just delightful to make with her. Also, while we were up there, Chris and I did very temporary tattoos on each other's arms, just doing art. So it just came out of art, it's just sometimes out of relationship and playfulness and
somebody has to open up the door. Sometimes in a relationship, we have a caller, but I want to get to call.
Oh, good.
So sometimes you have to be the one who that play is leaning on to bring out into the world. You're in a relationship with somebody and play is leaning on you to be the player.
Gosh, that's good. Oh!
And you can quote me on that because I can't. All right, hold on. She's turning red. Look, she's turning red. Even I can see that. Okay, hold on. Hello?
Okay.
Somebody there?
There you go.
Okay, so if you just call back again. We'd like to have you call back again. Okay, call back again. Rachel, what did you think then?
What did I think?
Yeah. What were you feeling? Because I'm very curious.
The whole thing about, say it again, about leaning into
So play is like an entity, and everything has, everything is an entity. Everything has a vibration, has experience, I think everything has a feeling. So play, like the concept of play is leaning on you, is leaning on somebody. It's leaning on you to play. It's like, it's making you do it. It's gonna make you do it. And sometimes it's leaning on Rachel to be the forerunner amongst maybe a few of her friends, to be the one to initiate the experience of play. The same thing for me. I've always been, and I stand for being kid-like and having what's to call me as having a nut factor. And so I've always been the one to want to make a party out of things. And sometimes sometimes people will drag along. But guess what? They drag along. They don't. They keep going. They keep dragging along because they want to be part of this play. And sometimes if you have that nut factor, raise your hand. If you're out there and you have a nut factor, raise your hand.
Right.
So it's like we are peaceful warriors going out there with our nut factors and to play. And to play like I know Susanna does with the kids in her neighborhood, and we all go out there with that. The play is leaning on you to this. It's going to make you do it because other people need you to do it. Does that? That's a big explanation.
I love
but
that.
Does that say?
Right. And if we give in to what leans into us, if play leans into you,
Here's our call. Hold on. Here's our caller before they go away. Hello.
Oh, actually, I was not the original caller, but I had to call in to say hello to Rachel. This is Chris. Hi, Marilyn. Hi,
hey, honey.
Anon. Hello, everyone. Hi.
Hi.
That's my daughter.
Hi.
And I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for working with Carissa and putting together I call it space holding. And when I saw this image, it just coincided with a really bumpy week where my kids were going through some life lessons of their own, and I saw this image and I said, oh my gosh, that is exactly what my job is in this moment. And just wanted to say thank you for putting a visual to what I was feeling inside, and it's still a very powerful piece. And like I told you earlier today, I think I'm going to have to buy this.
Oh, good. Well, it just delights me.
I love it. So thank you.
Oh, it's great to hear your voice too, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.
Love you.
And cheers to everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So Chris is definitely a nut along with me. I'm saying, how many of you out there are nuts? You know, are nuts about something, or are showing your nutness. Show your nutness. Show your nutness. Show your nutness. Okay, so then we only have a little bit of time left, and it's kind of like zoomed on by. So, okay, so kind of bring it together, and do me a favor, bring it together in a way that contains the nutness and the color, but also the therapist in you. Can you bring that together for me?
Yeah. I think that this show, is an invitation to people. I think there's a reason if you're tuned in and listening, whether live or later, and you catch on and you're listening to this, that there's something coming through an invitation, which includes for Marilyn and I and whoever's a part of this, that something is leaning into you the way that Marilyn said, play may be leaning into me to express and then share and invite others into it, and into a fuller joy and being. So I think that whether, as we said, you're laying on the couch and just taking steps is where you're at, whether you're on a mountaintop or somewhere in between, whether you're wondering if you can live another day or hour, that this is an invitation that says you can, and that red lights you, and orange and yellow and green and blue and violet. They all invite you to take that next step and to live more fully, to notice in all your senses, your taste, what tastes good to you, and to honor that in food, in all your ways. And purchase that bowl that sets your heart a beat. Don't be ruled by shoulds of thinking you should get this particular marker or paintbrush, but notice authentically what delights you. Sit on the swing at the funeral, sing in the shower, at the public pool, whatever it is, that our world needs you. The world's thirsty for you. And thank you for listening.
Well, I just love myself some Rachel. So I want to just say that we have a wealth of people here on this channel as well. And I would love to see you all tune in each and every week when you can to Wednesday night to Julie's show at 9 o'clock at night. We awaken your brilliance. On Sunday, Amnon.
Actually, Wednesday at 7:30.
What did I say? Wednesday at 7:30. What? The Vietnam tribute. Lessons of Vietnam. Amnon's show is on Sunday mornings, 9 till whenever those men get done, because they touch upon a million different things, and he must have 4 or 5 different hosts, and they talk about all kinds of technology stuff. Sunday night is Carrie's show. Fabulous show. You must tune in. She's doing great. She's just really helping a lot of people with being a psychic and a medium, and she's on at 8 o'clock. Monday at 11, my dear friend Debbie Bruck, the queen of the homeopaths. She's a dear friend. She's got so much to talk about and many people to share. And then every week, our show here at 1 o'clock. You never know what we're going to do and how it's going to go, because we just try to come out of the box with things. So please tune in. If you want to be again on our show, let me know. And, I also want to invite you to give me a holler. I would love to have the opportunity to work with any one of you as far as being a coach. My practice is full of color, and I want to help each of you have the most fulfilling life experience. So please, get in touch with me. Rachel, where can they find you? Your website.
So RachelLaws.com, RachlaWes.com, and alldidwaslisten.com.
Perfect. Remember, If all you did was listen, what would that look like? I'm going to leave you with that. That's her book. I'm putting out to you, if all you did was listen, where would you go? What color would you live with? What would you do if all you did was listen? This week, if all you did was listen. Have a wonderful week. We love you all. See you next week. Bye-bye.